It's great to be back in TransPerfect Music City Bowl. We had a great experience here 2 years ago. This one's been equally good. Fortunately, we didn't bring the snow with us this time, but everybody's been great. The hospitality extended. It's just been a tremendous experience for our players, for our staff, and we're certainly thrilled to be here representing the Big Ten. Just an overview real quick. It's lots written about bowls and said about bowls, and these are changing times in college football, but each and every one of these games is significant. Anybody that's ever competed, I think, realizes anytime you go out there and put whatever it is you do on display, you're going to try to do your best, and that's certainly what this is all about for us and our team. And it's our 22nd invitation now to a bowl game since I've been back at Iowa, and each and every one's really been special, and they've been important, and so again, we're just thrilled to be here. I think our players have done a nice job. Bowls are really interesting. You've got the bowl week, which quite frankly is a story in itself, and that's a different challenge, but you get the month. So it's a long time for the players. The initial part, you're bowl eligible, you don't know where you're going, who you're going to play. So that's a phase, and you get in that middle phase where the game's still 2.5 weeks out, and it's really tough to focus, maybe specifically on your opponent at that point. And then you get into the phase where you're on site. And you have to navigate through being in a hotel, being in a city that's probably got a little bit more to offer than what our guys are used to on a daily basis, so they have to navigate that. But I think the guys have really done a good job staying focused, and it's going to take that to play a good game against Missouri. They've got an outstanding football team, and just a couple of words about them. You look at them on film, they're really good offensively, obviously very balanced. They've got two outstanding running backs, guys we have a lot of respect for. Good offensive line. They've got a good receiver core. I know they're missing a guy or two there if you include the tight ends. But the guy number one is a really good football player, experienced and very productive. And the whole key of the offense is their quarterback. He's just done a wonderful job with his career. He's a really good football player. And to me, he's the catalyst of their offensive football team. Defensively, they look like an SEC defense. They're big and physical up front. A lot of guys, and they rotate guys through. They've got some really good guys up there. Number 15 is just a really outstanding player, very productive guy. And special teams, same thing. Good specialist and good size speed. And those guys really appreciate what special teams can do to impact the game. So they've done a good job there. And I think if you look at a couple of others, I always peek at it's just penalties an opponent might have, the penalty situation, their ball security takeaway deal. And the other thing is time of possession. Missouri checks all those boxes. They do a great job, which just indicates they're very well coached. They pay attention to things that are important and know what to do there. So as far as we go, again, I think our team's practiced well. I think they've done a good job handling the month preparation that way. We're going to have to be. We got to be focused, and we're going to have to be at our best to have a chance in this playing this challenge. So. Bowls are important, certainly. It's a chance to be together, first and foremost, for another a month. Secondly, it gives us a chance for younger players to get work and get some exposure that we wouldn't normally get, and watch, see how they progress, that type of deal. And then, most importantly, it's a chance for the entire team together, be together one more time, to compete one more time, and the seniors to wear the jersey one more time, and hopefully add to the win total that we've had this year. So. Again, we're just looking forward to the challenge. A couple things I'll just share with you personnel-wise. We have three of our players will not be available medically. Logan Jones will not be able to go. Didn't make it there. Seth Anderson suffered an injury a couple weeks ago, and he's not going to be able to go. I don't see that happening. Cohen and Trinker are the same thing. So we got three guys that won't be able to go. And then another guy I just want to mention, Connor Fisher, one of our seniors, has an unmet eligibility requirement, which is kind of ironic. And I can give you a whole commentary on college athletics today, but he's a graduate, but anyway, has an unmet requirement there. So he's not going to be able to compete. He's been with us. I just want to take a minute to talk about him, because to me, he's what's good about college football. We hear about all these crazy stories. A little slip there, so he missed something, an assignment, whatever it may have been, but he's chosen to stay with the team. He's a senior and has practiced each and every day, been on the look squad. That was not beneath him. He's been doing a great job working against our defense. And I think his story, the depth of things and why this is important. Walked on here from small town in Iowa. We've had a real history of walk-ons doing very, special things for us. And 3 years ago, I wasn't sure he liked football, quite frankly, just watching him in the weight room, watching him in our program. And it's not that he wasn't disinterested, just didn't look like he was really enjoying things. And I'm not sure what happened to him, but this happens with a lot of guys in college. Somewhere along the way, somewhere year 2 and 3, something just happened for him, and he's just done an unbelievable job. Hasn't started, we've had some pretty good linebackers. Hasn't started in the inside positions, but was our starter outside. And has been an unbelievable player in special teams the last couple of years, a great leader. Everything he does is first class. So I just wanted to single him out. It's unfortunate he won't play, but he's been here doing a great job, and he'll be on the sidelines with us tomorrow. So it's been a really good team to work with, special team. Each and every season, there are going to be challenges, things that are going to happen. You don't know what they are. You don't know what the challenges are going to be, injuries, whatever it may be. But these guys have responded in a real admirable way each and every turn. So that to me is how you evaluate a team. So we're just happy about that. Obviously excited about this opportunity, and we've got our work cut out for us, so we're looking forward to that. And then just, at least for our local media, just want to appreciate you guys being here and your coverage during the course of the year. I know our fans really appreciate that. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
You raise your hand.
Hey Kirk, with Logan out, assuming Tyler Ellsbury goes in there, what's the benefit of having a fifth-year senior like that you can plug in there, much like Nick DeYoung did at the end of the year?
Yeah, you just stole my answer right there. So, and I just talked about Tyler Fisher, a fifth-year senior. Last year, Tyler stood in there for, I think, 4 games when Logan missed. He got injured and had to come out. So, Els did a great job, really good job, and that is a real benefit. It's a luxury item, quite frankly, to have him available. Nick DeYoung did a great job when Dunk was out, and we didn't miss a beat. So it's hard to replace a guy like Logan. Logan's not only a really good football player, team leader. He'll be out there on the sideline tomorrow. I just can't go, unfortunately. But Tyler will do a really good job. Great opportunity for him. I know he's excited about it.
With Kyler's on the eligibility requirement, at what point can you find that out? And I assume probably Jackson or external will be filling it in the Leo spot unless you have something else on it.
Yeah. Did you first question when we found out?
Yeah, when you kind of was the timeline for this whole thing?
We saw it coming maybe a couple weeks ago, somewhere in December, and he made every effort to make it to the finish line, but just wasn't able to. So it's unfortunate. And I've got a son who graduated. I got 3 sons that graduated from Iowa, and one I remember in May just asked him distinctly, "You sure you got this thing measured up?" Because I was just watching what he was doing. I wasn't quite sure. He made it, maybe by that much. And the irony here is, like, Kyler's a graduate. That's just part of the deal. But it's a tough break. Nothing malicious, anything like that. And just he's the one that's hurting him more than anybody. But we'll be fine. Rex Roth will be out there or whatever, and we'll be fine.
Coach, I want to ask about a former player. Yesterday, Marshall Yanda was named one of the 15 finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If he gets nominated, he is in there. He'd be your first former player to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Just tell me about maybe a memory of Marshall and what he means to you, what that would mean to have him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Got a million memories. Somebody told me last night that would be the first one, which I hadn't really thought about. And first of all, when they start out that initial list, I look at it every year, and there's not anybody on there that's not a great player. So I don't think the average person, average fan really appreciates how tough it is to make any Hall of Fame. Whether you talk about the College Football Hall of Fame or you talk about the NFL Hall of Fame. Because there are so many really good players that aren't in it. So for him to make that final cut, I think it's 15. That's unreal. It's even more impressive because of the position he plays. It's kind of an underappreciated, devalued position, if you will, although there are a couple guys that have already gone in. Russ Grimm, who I was with in 1980, one of the best players I've ever been around, and I think, left guard from LSU for the Steelers. Alan Faneca, I think, is in also. But anyway, it's really tough for a guard, but it speaks to Marshall, and my first memory of him is, boy, we made a mistake. We recruited him out of junior college. He recruited us, quite frankly. Got here in January, mid-year, and I watched him in the out-of-season program. I think, oh boy, this might not have been a good decision. Wasn't the prettiest car in the lot, and it wasn't until we started practicing with pads, real football, all of a sudden I said, okay, went from being a redshirt possibility to maybe our best lineman. That would have been spring of '06, I think. And better than the way he plays is his attitude. He's just absolutely unbelievable. He's our honorary captain for the Wisconsin game, and his message was, probably every human being should hear it, but certainly every athlete should hear it. It just, that's who he is. You know, he's realizes failure is part of improvement and growth. He's fully appreciative of that, and he's battled through a lot of things, whether it was setbacks on the field, injuries, but his attitude is just so strong and powerful, and that's the beauty of him. He and his wife Shannon are raising 3 young kids right now near Iowa City, about 25 minutes away, and you know, just it's really fun to watch. Really fun to watch. So we just keep our fingers crossed and wish them all the best with this election.
Kirk, it's obviously no secret you guys brought in Hank Brown. You're potentially looking for another quarterback in the portal. How have you seen Brendan Sullivan kind of embrace that competition, embrace getting a chance to showcase what he can do now that he's fully healthy? And how have you seen him just kind of attack it?
Yeah, I mean, he's attacked everything since he showed up in June. And I think it's maybe one of the most impressive things he's done. Is, you know, he got here late. That's late in the game to get here in June, missed spring practice. But he works at everything diligently, physically, mentally, and is a sharp guy. He was a graduate when he got here, and so, you know, that's not an issue in his want to and willpower, just really impressive. So I think he's his own worst enemy at times because he tries so hard and competes so hard. So we just got to get him to, you know, play calm a little bit. Each and every snap has been just so important for him. And the good news is he's been pretty much healthy since we got going a couple of weeks ago. So I think we watched him the first couple of practices, but other than that, he's been full speed and had a really good morning this morning. So that's encouraging. And he's got to go out and play, and it's like every position. A quarterback, it's easier to say it than do it. Now, he doesn't need to win the game. He just needs to play his position, play it well, and let the team, you know, help out to do their part. And that's everybody's job. But he did a really nice job, so really pleased with where he's heading.
Hey Kirk, Caden Regent told us the other day he's still on that scholarship. I was curious if
Yes or isn't?
he said, what's that?
Is he yes or isn't? Yeah.
He said he isn't, yeah.
Yeah, we're still contemplating that, but yeah, no, I'm joking.
How do you see the offense being different without Caleb Johnson in this game?
Well, I mean, it's obvious. He's one of our best football players, and if you'd asked the same question in 08 when Sean Green was playing, you know, you're going to be different with him not being in there. But, you know, we've had guys historically step up, and that's what we're counting on here. I'll go back to Jermel Lewis, stepping in when Fred Russell might have been out. I'm going way back with that one up in the archives. Thinking about last time we played Missouri, we had a freshman running back run for 219. I did look that up to make sure I had my facts straight. You know, so that's a great thing about bowl games. It's a great thing about football. Everybody's got an opportunity, and got a couple guys between Kamari and Jazz, I think, are really eager to have that opportunity. For any of us to think they're going to be Caleb, that'd be, you know, mistaken on our part. And they don't have to be. They just got to be themselves because they're both good players. And we got a couple other guys too that may end up in there. We'll see how that goes. But I'd be perfectly happy if the two of them can split the load. If we're going to win the game, we're going to have to run the ball a little bit. And they know that. We know that. So we're going to find a way to do that. Obviously, we're going to run. We're going to have to throw it. So I mean, this is not rocket science, but that's the key. And I'm confident those guys will do a good job. They've been really pretty much on task. I've talked about Caleb a lot this year, and I could say the same thing about both those guys. They're different players than Caleb, but they've been totally focused. They've had a good chemistry, you know, the three of them, and now 3 is 2. So here we go. It's only 60 someplace, so not that big a deal. John McKay said the ball's not that heavy, so here we go.
Hey Kirk, just feels like every year the vast majority of your guys really look forward to playing in the bowl game. You don't see very many opt-outs. 2 years ago, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporte, Riley Moss, and as all those guys decided to play. And this year, you know, same case. Why do you think your players continue to make this choice? You know, because there is the inherent risk of playing in a game, obviously, but why do they continue to make the choice, you know, to suit up?
Yeah, I mean, I remember in college, one of the best players on our team finished his career and blew an ACL out crossing the street, literally misstepped on a curve, ended up playing for the Jets for a little bit. So in my 4 years, I was the only guy, you know, for the record, I went on to the National Football League. We didn't have a lot of abundance of players, and I would be the showcase of that. So, but anyway, you know, I think our guys play for the right reason. And, you know, the good of the game is just a chance to be together, go out and compete together, and go through the work leading up to competition. I think that's big. You know, if you don't like that part of football, you know, you're probably in the wrong sport because, you know, pro baseball, 162 games, basketball, 80 plus. So you're playing a lot more than you're practicing or working. And So that's kind of the nature of football, and I think, the nature of, being part of a team, all those kinds of things. Talk to any former player, the good ones, that's what they miss. Going back to Yonda, that's what you miss when you're done playing. So I think we just, we've been very fortunate. We've had a lot of really good young guys in our program. A bunch of them on this team too, same way.
I have time for one more question.
Hey, Kirk, I know you mentioned seeing some of the young guys go through the bowl prep and see who's standing out, see who's progressing. Any names come to mind or?
No, you don't think I'm sure of those, do you? It's funny. In fact, I was walking in, we had an event last night, a bowl event, which is, I'll put a plug in, okay, the Trans Perfect Music Bowl that we get to go to the Opryland. And it is easily, okay, this is unsolicited, easily the best bowl event. I've been to a few bowls now, I think 30, I counted somewhere this week, 30 in my career. It's easily the best event for head coaches to go to. I've been a head coach 30 times, but it's just a really neat thing. But anyway, so how I got on that. Coming out of that event, one of my friends, guys to teach school with 100 years ago, was here, and we're walking down the hall, walked past one of our younger players, a freshman, and just said this guy might be one of those guys. So I'll let you guys figure that out somewhere next fall. Hope I'm right, we'll see. But yeah, it's been fun just to watch the guys work. There's good and there's bad, right? So you watch the guys work that maybe have been on the scout team, you don't go watch every day, doing what we do, and it's kind of fun and exciting. And then there's some anxiety too, where you're looking at some guys that are going to have to replace some of the seniors we're losing, and you're like, well, I don't know if this guy's, name a guy, Jay Higgins or Mason Richmond, but we still got until now till next September to get those guys ready. And but just in general, the guys work with a good attitude. They've been out there trying to get better, and they have been getting better. When you're too close to it and seeing it every day, not every day, but you're seeing it day after day. It's like anything, it's like your own kids, and then when you're gone for a week, you come back, it seems like they grew a week or an inch or two. And so anyway, it's interesting, but we'll see what spring ball brings on more commentary. Maybe at the end of spring, we'll see what it looks like. Hopefully, guys will keep growing. Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you, Coach Ferentz.